All right. Hey there. Good morning, guys. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine here with your live weather streaming show for our region, Southern Indiana, the Ohio Valley, Kentuckiana, whatever you want to call it. Here we're talking about some wet conditions. Had a little bit of a wintry mix as expected over parts of Southern Indiana, Northern Kentucky. Let me know what you saw this morning. By now, though, we are where we did see a little wintry mix. This is going to quickly just be rainfall for the remainder of today. We might pick up to near a half inch of rain today, and this will be the coldest day of the week with temperatures at mostly in the lower 40s this afternoon. But then we're going to be about 20 degrees warmer tomorrow in the mid 60s, and then we've got a lot of 70s on the way later this week. So spring-like conditions is going to feel more like April, early May this week, but we're also going to see plentiful rain chances as well. I've got a daily chance of at least some showers. I don't think we're talking about total washouts or anything like that, but do plan to have some of that rain gear handy for the rest of this week. And this warm and wet pattern could continue through maybe at least the middle of next week. So we've got a lot to talk about as usual here. And the winter weather advisory ending, where we did have the winter weather advisory that went until 10 a.m. So let me go ahead and bring up the situation at hand right now. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. Thanks for liking or sharing. Thanks for dropping in the comments, letting me know where you're watching from. If it's just a good morning, don't be shy, but also feel free to let us know if you saw any wintry precipitation here. Hey, you never know. Maybe this will be our last little bit of sleet and a couple snowflakes of this season. But we will see as we start to transition to a warmer weather pattern. But you can see the colors change a little bit over parts of Indiana to the northeast. I did see some snow on the ground around the Carrollton, Kentucky area, some light kind of slushy stuff up there. I had a little bit of sleet at around 5:30 this morning, but mostly rainfall. And so the roads look like they are in good shape out there. As we expand out our view, there you can see the rain associated with this little system moving on through our region. And this is just the beginning of a wetter pattern on the way this week. But again, eventually a warmer pattern as well. Seeing a bunch of light snowfall reports up towards Indianapolis and near Dayton. So that's where most of the snow was flying early this morning. Let me go ahead and get out of the full screen mode there, and we'll be adding up how much rain, what we call the QPF, the quantitative precipitation forecast, here in a little bit as well. And you might be surprised at the whopping numbers that show up on the screen over the next 2 weeks as far as total rainfall amounts. So we might have to think about kind of a flooding issue if this pattern continues here over the next couple of weeks. But we have a rainfall deficit. We've only had about 3 inches of rain this year. That puts us about 4 inches behind normal. So it has been abnormally dry. And there are other places in Indiana where they're like 8 inches behind for the year. And to this date, last year, we had 10 inches of rainfall. So big difference. We had 7 inches more rainfall this time last year than this year. All right. So that's a lot about what we're going to be talking about. If you're new to the program, by the way, we're going to be showing you the forecast, current conditions right off the bat as we get going here. We'll thank some of our partners, and then we'll dig deeper into the forecast. As always, we got all the weather content loaded up, your weather jokes, your weather history, your weather countdown, long range forecast, the Ben on a Limb segment, and then we'll recap it. And we typically go anywhere from around 40 minutes to an hour. So again, we've got plenty of time to cover the weather in our area. We've got Beverly Haggis with a good morning from Borden, Indiana. And again, we're congratulations to the Lady Braves winning 1A state basketball there in Borden, and also the Eastern High School Lady Musketeers there in Eastern Washington County. Good morning. Sorry to hear you're down on your back. I am mobile. I mean, I did play golf yesterday, John, but I've got this nerve that's just every once in a while getting me. And so hopefully we can stretch it out. It's not as bad as it's been, but it's not great. Christian Walker, it's probably because I started those insanity workouts all last week as well. Just too old for it, I guess. Good morning to Christian Walker. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, that's probably a pretty good bet, Christian. Up in central Indiana, I could see maybe 4, 5, 6 inches of rain over the next 7 days. You're going to see the biggest amounts up that way around I-70. And Orlean, good morning to you. It's doing. I am mobile. I'm not down and out yet with the back. Christian, it was a good weekend. We hopped over to Richmond, Indiana. I met my great niece, Parker Wren, and so it was fun to get to hold a little baby, which I haven't since 17 years ago, and my son was a little guy. Dennis Gregory, happy Monday from Bedford Square. Thanks for tuning in up there in Lawrence County. Christian Walker did have a little bit of snow there in Carmel, Indiana. Danielle Sylvester, a little bit of sleet there in Prospect. Thanks for that report there. And thanks for being a part of the show this morning. Lillian Lasley with a good morning, 35 degrees and raining. Yeah, as I've said before on this show, my least favorite weather condition is a cold rain. And that's definitely what we have out there now. And it's going to stay chilly today. Again, lower 40s likely this afternoon as some of this light rain continues as well. All right, we've got Tim Furnish with the nuisance dusting in Madison. Yeah, I figured you guys would probably get a little bit of that dusting up that way. Christian's up on the third cup of coffee. Hey, we'll do the cheers here to you, Christian, with the big happy good morning. That's cup number 2, but it is. I slammed down the Keurig twice on that, so I'm probably up around 3 as well. Don Yeoman Jr., good morning to you, sir. And we got Christian Walker. Oh, yeah, the weekend was good. Good to hear that. Emmanuel got 3 inches of snow last night. A few spots around 4 inches up there in central Indiana. Thanks for that report. I didn't think you guys got that much. Kathy Burnett, thanks for tuning in. Have a blessed day as well. Stay dry out there. Marceline Wilson from French Lick, Indiana. You know what always was said, in like a lion, out like a lamb. There you go. Hopefully we can dodge any severe weather threats here over the next couple of weeks with this wet weather pattern. I don't see anything glaring as far as any severe weather over the next week, which is good. And Emmanuel says, yep, snow will be gone soon. Perry Porter in the house. Can't wait for my coffee. I don't like the cold rain. 33 in rain in Hodgenville. Yeah, it is not the most pleasant. And again, there you can see the rain that we still have across the area. Most of the snow reports are around I-70. So let me go ahead and get rid of this, and we'll add this one up to the stage. Here's your weather headlines here for today. So we got chilly rain today in 40s, a warm week ahead with highs in the 60s and 70s. So we're going to be trending a good 10 to 20 degrees above normal for the rest of this week and possibly into next week as well, with a daily chance of some showers. And so this shows the GFS weather model on the left, the European weather model on the right, and they both show inches of rain. This is today through Sunday. And notice kind of around Interstate 70 is kind of the bullseye of the inches of rainfall. And that has to go somewhere into the mighty Ohio River. And so we could see some rising numbers on our area rivers, creeks, and streams over the next couple of weeks. Now, here locally around the Ohio River, this is showing around 1 to 3 inches of rain. Hey, Wyatt Wright, good morning to you, sir. And, appreciate the photo, Emmanuel. Sherry Coyne, good morning to you. Christian, I haven't had the fireplace on in a long time. We did have a nice outdoor fire Saturday with the nice weather. And you got it, Sherry, for sure. So we are seeing some signs of spring. Harbingers of spring is what we call it. And this is the crocus popping up here. So we're starting to see some of the wildlife come back to life despite still having the piles of snow on the ground. We had Marge that disappeared in front of our studios here in New Albany. Now this my wife took yesterday at Meyer. This is Snow Mound Merle at Meyer. This is Marge's brother, still going strong. And then I got this picture from Gary and Janet Hutchins at the JC in Corydon, Indiana, and that is a big one as well. So we still have some snow from the late January system that moved through our area. We're keeping track of the lingering snow mounds across the area. This morning, we're keeping track again of some of the wet conditions. Let's also look at some current conditions as we start moving along here this morning. And this is a live look outside with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation. Hey, we got a choo-choo train crossing in that picture there. Here's a look at some of the gray, gloomy skies with the rain coming down and those chilly temperatures as well. Thanks for providing that from fallsoftheohio.org. If you ever want to check out that camera, going to hit the refresh here. We got the live stream up at extolmag.com/weather. We are sitting at 33 degrees. So thankfully above that magic number of the freezing mark at 32, keeping the roads just fine out there and just wet. The wind gust at 14 puts our wind chill at 25. Just a lovely cold rain. There's the brand new 7-day forecast that I've got popped up right there. Look at the warm temperatures, but look at the daily chances of rain. Warmer means wetter. We've talked about it all the time. I've got the brand new weather story posted as well, which has a lot of the maps that we're showing here on the show. And then you've got also a look at any watches or warnings across the United States, regional radar. I did take a look at the 511in.org cameras here this morning. They did have the snow plows out just in case. This is a look at one of the latest snow plow cameras, and this is in Charlestown, and the roads are just wet. So a lot of the snow plows didn't have a whole lot to do out there. This is up in Madison. It looks like any snow, any dusting has already melted up that way. Heading farther to the northeast, there's maybe just a little bit of a dusting as well northeast of Madison, Indiana. But not a whole lot to show here on the snowplow cams, thankfully. But if you ever want to look at some traffic conditions, weather conditions, they've got weather observation stations and live cameras there. If you ever want to check that out, we got you linked up at extolmag.com/weather. We got the interactive radar maps as well. If you ever want to zoom out, play around, dozens of weather layers there for you, and more here as well with the current conditions. Winter weather advisory there up to the north. If we can click on that right there. So it is already over with at 10 a.m. So no biggie there, as we just have plain old rain across the area now. Hey, we want to thank our partners, Clog Busters with a Z Plumbing Services, clearing the way one flush at a time. The plumber you want to call. So if you're in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, they've got the service vehicles and the technicians to get to your place. And if you ever want to contact them, they've got several different ways in the bottom right-hand corner at Clogbusters with a Z plumbing.com. Also, right ahead of Tuesday, we like to talk about Ivy Tech Community College in Sellersburg. You can go right here to ivytech.edu, click on Sellersburg. It's our community hub here in Southern Indiana. You belong here, and they've got the Sellersburg Spotlight, where Tuesdays at the Tech, you can click right there and get this one-on-one help. You can get registered for a visit, and you'll get the tour. You'll get to check out their facilities, their campus. Obviously, you can learn about how to pay for college, whether you can get some financial aid, some benefits, veterans benefits, scholarships. And then if you're ready to go, you can get some career coaching and register for your classes right there. Also, we want to thank our partners, Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com. They're reminding you, as you are protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime, that being your home, that if you had any hail damage from 1 year ago, March 15th, a lot of insurance companies give you 1 year to make that claim. If you want to get a free quote, you can do that here online, or you can call them 812-294-3595. I want to thank our new partners here as spring is quickly approaching. It is meteorological spring, by the way, started yesterday. Our weather nerds keep track of spring with the simple months of March, April, May, while astronomical spring still doesn't begin until the spring equinox, when we have equal day, equal night, and the sun's rays are over the equator. That is March 20th. With that said, again, here's our new partners, Grantline Nursery and Garden Center. They just got a bunch of roses in it, and they grow and help nurse over 100,000 annuals for you. So if you want to get in contact with them, you can go to grantlinegarden.com or just head in their nursery there off of Grantline Road. I want to thank my buddy here, Michael Long, here at American Family Insurance. Go to amfam.com, just search Michael Long. If you want to get a quote, lots of ways to save, 812-578-3072. Boom, there we go. And now we're going to start rocking and rolling. Still seeing the drips on the camera limbs here as we look live with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. Also, just a quick reminder, too, if you have any weather questions, or if you're like Emmanuel and you want to send me a picture, or you want to picture the weather that you have going on around your area, if you want to learn about advertising and marketing solutions with our live shows here at Extol Weather and Extol Media, easy to do, Ben at extolmag.com, extolmag.com, if you want to reach out to me. All righty, got a few more comments popping in We'll get to some of these. We got Mary Boyd. Good morning. Hopefully, we'll see a little sunshine amongst all the daily rain chances, but some warmer temperatures. Joseph Benningfield, good morning to you. The tulips and the Easter lilies or daffodils are starting to pop up after the big snow 3 weeks ago. Some signs of spring. Christian, we're still working on it, and happy March to you. We're marching along through the year 2026. And again, let's get into the forecast. So again, chilly rain today, warm week ahead in the 60s and 70s, 10 to 20 above normal with lots of rain chances. Thankfully, I think we'll, for the most part at least, it looks like we'll dodge severe weather chances, mostly kind of showery, spring-like showers. I think April, May kind of weather here. And there's the bullseye of the heaviest rain over central Indiana, southern Illinois, and south central Ohio. We're just south of the bullseye. This is the rainfall total all the way through Sunday. So I think overall we'll be able to take in 1 to 3 inches without too many flooding problems, but our soils are going to be rather soggy after this next week and a half. There's the crocus I was talking about popping up, one of the first harbingers of spring, along with the lilies and the tulips. And there's the snow mound myrtle at Meyer, still going strong, and the snow mound at JC in Corydon. How long will they last after the 60s and 70s on the way? Hey, Tailspin Ale Fest at Bowman Field this Saturday. It's supposed to be really warm out there. Might need the umbrella. We'll see about that. And then the next weekend is March 14th, and that is the St. Patrick's Parade. I'll be one of the judges in that. Looking forward to that. And then right after that is Jessica's Journey Foundation, the benefit concert for jessicasjourneyfoundation.com, April 4th at Melwood Arts Center. Put it on the calendar. Come out and have some fun with Juicebox Heroes with that. 6 days until the time change. So next Sunday, we're going to have those hour later sunsets, getting closer to 8 p.m. sunsets by less than a week. 18 days until spring officially begins on March 20th. 47 days, just 47 days until April 18th. That's Thunder over Louisville, and just 61 days until Derby Day, and that is early May. Good morning to Laura DeVore. Thanks for tuning in here this morning. Here's our weather history for today. 1927, we had record snow in Raleigh, North Carolina. Held that record until the year 2000. 1966, a Dakota blizzard, 3 foot of snow, 70-mile-per-hour gusts, 30-foot drifts, massive livestock losses. 1982, a cyclone in Tonga, I think this is South Pacific, named Isaac, 106-mile-per-hour winds, 45,000 left homeless. 1988, Lafayette, Louisiana, a tornado there near the airport, and recorded a sharp drop in the air pressure with that tornado moving through. And in 2012, the historic Southeast tornado outbreak, the first billion-dollar disaster of 2012 in EF4 and EF3 tornadoes, caused significant fatalities. And of course, this is our 14-year anniversary today of the Henryville EF4 on March 2nd, 2012. So that was part of that same outbreak. So crazy. That was 14 years ago. I was tracking that live at the TV station. Losing an hour of sleep next weekend, but we get the later sunsets and the longer days minute by minute. Here's our stupid weather jokes of the day, always guaranteed to be stupid. How is a clock like a frog in March? How is a clock like a frog in March? They both spring ahead like those spring peepers. Why is it bad luck to run over a 4-leaf clover? It will press your luck. Why did the boy throw butter out the window? He wanted to see a butterfly. They're kind of spring related, March related. I'm trying to keep it themed here with the stupid jokes today. Here's your forecast today for our Monday, March 2nd, 42 degrees. We'll probably do it. Pretty steady temperatures today. So keep the warm rain jacket. We're going to keep some light rain around this afternoon. Sunset at 6:37. Just a gloomy one, and some spotty showers possible tonight. Temperatures are not going to drop off really overnight. Maybe the lowest around 40 degrees. Hey, we're getting some love for the jokes from Oralee, from Beverly, from Christian Walker, and Lillian Lasley. Thank you, guys. And our forecast tomorrow, some showers are going to be possible. I don't think it's going to be a washout. Now, the farther you get south of Louisville this week, the drier you will be overall. So a lot of you in central Kentucky, southern Kentucky, along and south of the Bluegrass and western Kentucky parkways, you're going to be enjoying just a lot of warm weather and the driest conditions. As you go farther north towards Indianapolis, it gets wetter. So if you're around Seymour and Brownstown and Bedford and North Vernon, you guys might be the wettest over the next 7 days. As you get farther south and farther away from the stationary front, you're going to have more dry time. That's just the way it's going to be. And here's all the rain chances here. Again, I don't think we're talking total washouts, but some occasional showers as we get disturbances to ride along the stationary front. So 65 tomorrow, that's about 10 to 15 above normal, and then about 20 above normal Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, well into the 70s. Probably some record warm nighttime temperatures, as the lowest temperatures are in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees. So great, as long as the rain doesn't come in the windows, this is open your windows, clean the air out of your house type of weather, getting rid of that cabin fever style weather. And we're just going to have some soggy ground with all these rain chances. We might get a clap of thunder every once in a while, but I do think the severe weather threat will remain very low with any of this daily rain chance that we see here. So yes, Orlean, I am meaning that it will not be as wet in Hodgenville, and we'll see this trend as we fire up the weather models. And we take a look at the maps here, and it's 10:20. That's typically right when we start to fire up the weather models as well. And how long is Christian, you may have the rain lingering. You have more washout chance, so more rain throughout the day than anybody else up in Indianapolis. I think Indianapolis is kind of near the bullseye of the daily rain chances, with that stationary front sitting right over the top of you. And the severe weather threat looks low with this, thankfully. Beautiful temperatures, Laura says, but spring comes with the rain. Yes, indeed. All right, let me get rid of this. We are going to bring up to the stage some of the maps. Let's get into it. If you're a weather nerd, you're going to like this portion of the show, as we're going to start to look at the weather model data. Do we do the good news first or the bad news? Meaning, should we look at the temperatures first? Start off with the good news, and then we'll look at all the rain. Because stick around for the QPF, the quantitative precipitation forecast. That's going to add up all the rain over the next couple of weeks. You might be a little surprised about how much we're going to be talking about here coming up. All right, I'm going to get to let's just get to the HRRR high resolution rapid refresh weather model. We'll just time out the rain in the short term, and then we'll get to the temperatures. So overall, still temperatures first in the long run, and then we'll look at the rain. So this is going to go into this afternoon, just some more rainfall. Notice the farther northwest you get up Louisville, the drier it is. You may have more dry time up around Bedford and Paoli today in French Lick. It stays pretty wet over Kentucky. This is 3 p.m. today. After work, after school, this is 6 p.m. Notice rain still lingering, especially over Kentucky. A little drier over Indiana. And this is going to go into 11 o'clock tonight. Notice we still have some scattered light rain across the area. We start to switch the wind from the northeast to come up from the south over the next 24 hours. So that's going to keep the temperatures going the right direction as we head into tomorrow. This is 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And notice we got some showers out west. And you know where they're going. They're moving our direction. That would be the warm front lifting over the area. So scattered showers expected for our Tuesday. This is 10 a.m. Tuesday morning. Let's take it into the afternoon, 3 p.m. So here's the trend, Orlean. For all you guys south of Louisville, watch the trend here. You're farther away from the front, so you're going to enjoy a lot more dry time the farther south of this front. So this front's going to get hung up over central Indiana. It's going to keep a lot of the rain chances over northern Kentucky and south central Indiana. And then the farther south you go, it's going to be drier. So this is at 3 p.m. tomorrow. And notice, again, warm front activity, because look at the temperature contrast here. You've got 60s over almost all of Kentucky, if not near 70 degrees. And then north of that front over Indiana, stays a bit cooler tomorrow. Now, that's one weather model. Let me bring up the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. It has a cool bias, so I'm going to ignore that one. And let's bring up the GFS weather model for tomorrow afternoon. It shows us getting into the 60s. I've got 65 degrees going, but again, farther north you get, it's going to be a little cooler. So don't be surprised if you're just stuck in the 50s over parts of Indiana tomorrow. And then notice up here for our friends in Indianapolis, 40s tomorrow. So there's the front getting hung up there tomorrow. Look at all of this warm air that's going to start to win the battle. So now we're talking warm temperatures. Look at the 80s over Texas, 70s, 80s over the Gulf Coast states, and the edge of the warm bubble beginning to lift to the north. So let's go into the 4th of, we march 4th into the 4th of March, and this is our Wednesday. And there you can see we're on the warm side of the front. And Wednesday, I've got us going up to 73 degrees. A little conservative on this map right here, but there you go. Some warm temperatures. And then again, that stationary front is hung up over central Indiana. That is going to be the focus of some steadier rain. So let's take a look at the precip that goes along with this. And this is Wednesday. So there you can see Kentucky drier than Indiana. This is Wednesday evening. We could take this into Thursday. Look at all that rain over Indiana. Still overall a drier trend in Kentucky. This is our March 5th, Thursday. Going into the afternoon, there you can see more scattered showers. And we look at the area temperatures, all surging 60s and 70s. There's our warm and wet conditions for Thursday. Taking this into our Friday, the 6th. And this shows well into the 70s. I've got 77 going for Friday afternoon. But with that warmth, again, we are close enough to the stationary front that we could still have a few showers around on Friday. I've got us at like a 40% chance. There you can see a little bit of that green and yellow and orange on the screen with little disturbances riding along that stationary front. Going into March the 7th, Saturday, Tailspin Ale Fest. Looks a little better. Looks like we have some dry time perhaps in the morning, but it looks like this is 4 p.m. Saturday into late Saturday. It starts to ramp up a rain chance. I'm going to go back here. It looks like we're going to be rather warm Saturday. Saturday might be one of the warmer days if these trends continue. It has 70s all across the area. Loving the numbers. Let's just feast our eyes here on those 70s for Saturday. So, yeah, as long as we can hold back some of the rain, that would be some phenomenal conditions if you have some plans outdoors this weekend for Saturday. It would be also just be nice to have these breaks so the water can soak in the soil, run off, and kind of recharge so we don't have to worry too much about flooding concerns. So that is our Saturday. Look at that warm air, again, surging all the way up into Michigan, the Great Lakes, and then the cool air is out west. And if we bring up the jet stream, we've talked about this. By now, you should know that that's going to be a trough and that's going to be a ridge in the jet stream. The jet stream is a ribbon of air, the kind of storm highway, and the divider between warm and cold air masses. And warm is going to be south of the ridge, and then cold is going to be north of the trough. So a trough out west, a ridge east, and that promotes warm weather for us. Eventually, it can lead to a stormier weather pattern, but I don't see a lot of CAPE or convective available potential energy for storms. But let me go ahead and bring up the 500 millibar map. This is the winds up, again, way up aloft. And we definitely have a trough ridge situation here. So this is the trough out west, and then this is the ridge over our area. So we've got a southwest flow with the jet stream, and that's pumping in the warmer than normal conditions. But it's also the storm highway. Again, with this orientation of the jet stream here, we get continuous rain chances around the region with the jet stream near our area. So there you go. That's kind of the setup right there. Let's get back to our temperatures and see how long we can see the warm last. And since we're going to go a little bit farther out, it is time for The good old Ben on a limb segment. All right. So now this is looking at Saturday. Let's see if we see any changes as we go into Sunday. We are still on the warm side right there. So I still have us at like 68 on Sunday. Still should be on a warm note here. Let me just adjust the map a little bit. And then let's go into Monday the 9th. Warm conditions over much of the United States. We're going to go to Tuesday the 10th. Warm. So this is a long-lasting warm pattern. And then let's go to Wednesday the 11th. It shows a front moving through. So we might cool down a little bit around midweek next week. And with that front, there you go. You can typically bet on some rain. This is next Tuesday night and a Wednesday, okay? So this could bring some thunderstorms. We're going to look at the most unstable Cape. There is energy for some thunderstorms around this time period. Not off the charts. And then I want to bring up the wind speeds with this and see what we're dealing with. Very strong winds. Might have to watch out for some strong wind potential next Tuesday and a Wednesday. This system has some energy with it. So a little over a week from now, we might have some severe weather potential. We'll kind of keep an eye on that. And then let's get back to our temperature map here. So that's ahead of the cold front that moves through Tuesday night into Wednesday morning next week. I'm going to go to the 12th of, here's the 12th. We're on the cool side of things here. The Gulf Coast states and the East Coast getting the warm weather. So we stay cool there on the 12th, and then, but not crazy cold, just cool. And then we're kind of on the edge of another surge of warm air on the 13th. The 14th is a Saturday. Ooh, that would be nice because I'm judging the St. Patrick's Parade Saturday the 14th, and that would be nice to have some 60s back in that forecast there. So there we go. So maybe a little bit of a roller coaster pattern next week, but this week we stay pretty warm. And let me back up our view here. I'm going to go into the 15th on Sunday the 15th. Looks like another cold front moves through. We would have a rain chance with that. And I am going to just precip type this. Looks like the snow would stay off to the north with that system. But more rain. And again, we're about to add up all the rain over the next couple of weeks. So bear with me here. It's going to be an impressive map. Going into the 16th. So we're mid-March here. Looks a little cool there. 17th of March. Mild-ish. And this is as far out as the GFS goes. Now, let's add up all of the rainfall. And it's going to be quite a bit. Total precipitation. And here we go. That is a lot. Right over the Ohio Valley. And you cannot soak this up very well because our vegetation is still dormant. So let me go ahead and bring this up full screen here for you. And actually, the European weather model is pretty similar situation here. So this shows over the next couple of weeks, we could have around 6 inches of rainfall. That would get us kind of back to where we should be for this time of the year because we got about a 4-inch rainfall deficit. It would definitely get rid of any of the drought conditions that over our parts that are ongoing over parts of Indiana. But if we get too much over one area, and we call it training, where you just get rain going over the same areas time and time again with that stationary front over the region, this could lead to some hydrological issues, water issues, flooding issues for the mighty Ohio River, especially with the placement of this over the next couple of weeks, right over the top of the river, or even just north of the river. Either way, you still have the river systems going into the Ohio River and filling it up. So watching out for rising rivers, creeks, and streams. That is a lot of rain potential over the next 2 weeks. All right. Let me get rid of this full screen mode here. We're going to clear that out. I'm going to bring up the Climate Prediction Center. here at 10:34 on a Monday. So this is looking at the 6 to 10 day outlook. We're in the above normal zone. Ooh. It's not mapping it out perfectly. Let's look at the 8 to 14 day outlook. We're still in the above normal area. That would kind of line up with what we saw. There we go. So high confidence from the Climate Prediction Center that we will have above normal temperatures over the next 1 to 2 weeks here. Maybe a little dip late next week, maybe around Wednesday next week as a front moves through, and watching out for maybe some severe weather potential around that time. But there you go. That is from the Climate Prediction Center. And we'll go back to, we can bring up a live radar and check out the rain that we have out there now. Look over some comments. We'll reload the forecast here for you. But there you can see it is fairly wet. Looking a little bit drier now around Paoli and Bedford and around Brownstown, around Highway 50. And over at Louisville, you can see steady rain continues. And that, of course, is in southern Indiana as well, around Charlestown, Sellersburg, New Albany, Jeffersontown, Georgetown. And then as we look over much of Kentucky in the green, hey, green is a color of March right there. And here you go. Plenty of it with the live radar scan out of Fort Knox there. And we're going to, again, reload the forecast for you. And we'll wrap things up on a Monday here very shortly. I'll go ahead and get rid of this view there. And here is a live look at some of the current gray conditions that we have out there at the Falls of the Ohio. And again, we're going to have to watch out, kind of keep an eye on these river levels here over the next couple of weeks as we have that stationary front giving us repeated chances of rainfall. This is our latest look at extolmag.com/weather. And if you want to get some weather information, there's a lot of information right there for you as well. And bringing it back up to the stage here. Again, enjoying some of my least favorite weather this morning, that being chilly rain. Looking over some of the comments here. Let me see here. Manuel saying Wednesday and Saturday looking interesting. Looks like yard work weather. Yeah, especially for you, Orlean, down in Hodgenville, where you'll be drier overall. Lillian says beautiful temperatures, but we need the sunshine with it. I do think we'll have some sunshine with the warm weather pattern. Yes, Christian, I think you'll have some warm temperatures up that way. Laura saying, I like this Ridge jet stream much better. Definitely a spring style with the jet stream. Beverly, thanks for being a part of the show here this morning. And Mary Dale from New Albany, looking forward to the warm-up starting tomorrow. Laura saying it beats the snow. At this point in time, I agree. Let me see what else we got here. Christian, a reminder to subscribe on YouTube, Extol Weather, Extol Media, Wednesdays with Weddington. Yes, thank you very much for the reminder. Thanks for liking or sharing or subscribing or following. Even just a simple like helps spread our live show, so we appreciate that. Lillian, you have a great day as well. Or Elaine, take care of that back. I will. I have to take a dip in the hot tub and chill a little bit today. All right, chilly rain today. Hey, chilly rain in the hot tub, that wouldn't be too bad. With lower 40s, warm week ahead with 60s and 70s, and then daily rain chances all week. I talked about the 7-day rainfall totals. A little higher north you go towards central Indiana, I-70 area, and then it gets lighter and lighter the farther south you go around the region, especially central southern Kentucky. A lot more dry time over the next 7 days. So it really depends on your location how much of this rain you're going to get. We are seeing those signs of spring, though. There's some of the crocuses popping up, despite the snow mounds still lingering around the area. Tailspin Ale Fest is this Saturday. Should be a warm one. Join us. You can go to tailspinalefest.com to learn more. That's Saturday, March 7th. The next weekend is the St. Patrick's Parade. I'll be out there, one of the judges. Ooh, yeah, Laura, hot tub and margaritas will fix that back. That's a good combo there. And then mark your calendar, April 4th, as we get closer to the KDF, the Kentucky Derby Festival. at the Melwood Arts Center. It's jessicasjourneyfoundation.com where you can get tickets for the benefit concert at Melwood Arts Center. The Juicebox Heroes will be playing in the Suburbans, some Indiana bands there, and food trucks and drinks and a good time. How many days until 6 days until that time change? We do lose the hour of sleep, but we get the later sunsets. Spring begins. That sets us up for springtime stuff. 18 days away, 47 days until Thunder of Louisville, 61 days until, was it 152? Running of the Kentucky Derby. A lot of weather history for today. And again, we are reminded that this was a big day 14 years ago, March 2nd, 2012. Huge tornado outbreak, including the horrible tornado that moved through the Henryville area, parts of Borden as well, and lots of Clark County. Our stupid jokes of the day. How is the clock like a frog in March? They both spring ahead, like the spring peepers. Why is it bad luck to run over a four-leaf clover? It will press your luck. Why did the boy throw butter out the window? He wanted to see a butterfly. In your forecast today, 42 degrees, chilly rain showers, east-northeast breeze around 5 to 15. We'll get this day out of the way, and then we're going to see a lot of 60s and 70s. Tonight, temperatures will stay steady, so not as cold, as we start to get that breeze switching in from the southeast. And tomorrow, a south wind at around 10 to 15. That's going to jump the temperatures up to the 60s, especially for counties along the Ohio River and south. It's going to be cooler each county you go north of the Ohio River because you're north of the warm front tomorrow. So there will be a temperature contrast around the region, and we can take a look at that as we're live tomorrow on Ben at 10. 7-day forecast, lower 70s Wednesday and Thursday, some mid to upper 70s possible Friday and Saturday. Certainly would be the warmest so far this year. The warmest we've had is 71 degrees back around February 18th, 19th. And so this will be our warmest week of the year, 2026, here, the first week of March. Looking spring-like, daily rain chances. So again, just keep that umbrella handy as we are going to need it from time to time. All right. Once again, want to thank our partners here on the show. We'd like to thank them right off the bat and then thank them again a little bit later. If you have any plumbing issues, this can happen when we get some crazy amounts of rain anywhere throughout the Commonwealth. You can rely here on Clogbusters with a Z plumbing.com. And you can go here and contact them. The bottom right, they've got a bunch of ways to contact them. There's text, call, email, chat there online. You can check out their services and everything they've got to offer you right there at Clogbusters with a Z plumbing.com. Hey, and tomorrow is Tuesday. That means Tuesdays at the Tech. If you want to register and get a custom visit, go to Ivy Tech Community College, go to campuses, click on Sellersburg, and you're going to get that one-on-one help. Don't be shy about it. They're nice folks there at Ivy Tech at Exit 9, Highway 311, I-65. And you can learn about the Ivy experience, of course, if you just want to take a longer look. And you're going to learn about all of the different programs, dozens of programs that they have to offer, 2-year certification programs. It can lead you to a 4-year program and transfer credits all over the area. Great nursing program as well. I want to thank our partners here at Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com. They've got a big pamphlet at the bottom. If you want to learn more, there's a download, but you can also just get a free quote online too. And you can see all their recent work, reviews, all that good stuff right there. Recommend you to Lyons, lionsroofingco.com. Or you can call them 812-294-3595. Want to thank our new partners here at Grantline Nursery and Garden Center too. If you want help landscaping, they've got all of the information right here for you. You can get in touch with their team. Lots of different services there for you. Of course, you can find their hours, locations. You can call them 812-945-5676, or you can just head into their big old nursery there on Grantline Road. They've got lots of roses coming in as we get ready for the run for the roses here in 61 days. And they've got the pansies ready to go for you. Lots of stuff there. And I want to thank my buddy here, Michael Long. If you want to see if you can save, there are different ways you can save, and he'll be happy to talk to you about it. 812-578-3072. You can go to amfam.com, search Michael Long, and it'll take you right there to his page. I always want to thank my buddy Brad Weddington. He built my house. You might be able to build your future house. Let the journey begin right here. Weddington Custom Homes. WeddingtonCustomHomes.com. want to thank our partners too here. Not the best weather for paving, unfortunately, with all the rainfall. They'll get busier and busier throughout the year. And with that said, they may have an opportunity for you. If you go to their career section there, you can see apply now, available employment opportunities. Might be something for you right there. And again, you can also get your weather all the time here at extolmag.com/weather. Got the live stream up. Thanks for following. Thanks for subscribing, liking. We're at 34 degrees now with the latest update. 14-mile-per-hour wind, feels like 26. Not good to be soaking out there in conditions like that. Yuck. And again, there's the 7-day forecast that I posted this morning, the brand new weather story. And of course, the interactive maps. You can plot out whatever you'd like to plot out. There's Futurecast, there's satellite, radar, winds, wind gusts, rain accumulation. Ooh, rain accumulation would be this is next 3-day rain accumulation. You can also click on it and click on that pull down, and it gives you the hour by hour at the bottom here. Any location you want to click on here. Just amazing technology right there. We've got it loaded up for you any time of the day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week there at extolmag.com/weather. Lily and I am all good. I'm kind of used to the off and on back issues. Try to stay active, but at my age, sometimes the back doesn't want to cooperate. Will it be rain all day? I'm not expecting washout today. Probably no sunshine. But as that warm front lifts over us and starts to lift to the north, I think that's when the clouds will break apart. We'll get some sunshine that's going to help us get in the 60s and 70s. So we're going to have, I would call it variably cloudy. Varying times, we'll have sunshine, clouds. Then we'll have some passing showers, maybe a thunderstorm, then maybe some sunshine. But again, some spring-like conditions with also some unsettled weather with that front around the region. Hey, we'll take a look at some of the updated rainfall totals tomorrow as it stays pretty active here over the next couple of weeks. We'll look at some more of the warm temperatures. We'll look at if the ingredients are coming together at any point for severe weather. Have to watch out for that as well here as it starts off to be a soggy weather pattern in March. Coming in maybe a little bit like a lion. We'll see if it ends a little bit cooler. It might be kind of a flip-flop month where it starts off warm for a couple of weeks and then trends cooler later in the month before April. But still, as always, lots to talk about. That's 10:47. We've been yapping a long time here. Thanks for tuning in there, Christian Walker, as well. You guys have a good one. Try to stay dry out there, and we'll see you tomorrow.